Have you had relations with a British man?
I've slept with a couple of British. I've taken a couple
An
of British
American?
men down. Yeah.
An American, have you?
Yeah, I've had a couple of American.
Out of the 3, who wins?
Oh! Ooh.
Out of 4 of the world. Guys, we are here with legendary Irish comedian JOANNE McNALLY. I'm so excited to have you on. You are...
Hey, girls.
You are so fucking funny, but there's something that I realized from dating an Irish man.
Yes.
Irish women are in a league of their own compared to all the women of all the countries. You guys have a no nonsense, not tolerating this shit, not like in all areas of life. And I've never encountered a country where the women are just like, they know what they want, they know who they are, and they know what they don't like. And they're very, very quick to say it.
On behalf of all Irish women, I'm going to say thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say
does that resonate for you?
Factually correct. Well, I think Ireland, like, it's kind of a stereotype, but I think often there's truth in stereotypes. That's why there's stereotypes.
Yeah.
Ireland in general, it's a very irreverent country. We like laughing. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And so the women are the same. Like, I wasn't a comedy fan growing up. I wasn't not a comedy fan, but I just wasn't into, it wasn't on my radar as such. Yeah. And so when people say, like, who are your comedic influences? It's actually just
Irish people. Yeah.
It's honestly,
you guys are the funniest fuckers I've
some of my
ever
friends, I'm like,
met.
It's embarrassing that they're wittier and faster than I am. I've just managed to wangle a career out of it. But I'm not just saying that. I swear to God, they are so fucking funny.
And it's also interesting to me too, because like we've had Irish listeners since we started the podcast, and along the way they've been informing us about like how behind women's rights are in Ireland. Very recently was abortion made legal. Yeah. And there's just so many cases of just women dying from illegal abortion, because like if a woman wants an abortion, she's going to get one. Yeah. So that's an interesting dynamic, to have a population where the women are just so strong, but then the laws are fucked. Like,
that's Catholicism, though.
That's it.
Right,
and like, to be fair, so the Catholic Church ran the state of Ireland. So we've actually, for a country that's only just kicked out the church, we're moving along quite quickly. We are progressing quite quickly, I will say, in defense of Ireland. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of medieval, but no.
I mean, it is a medieval. You go there,
fight hard.
Like, my boyfriend was like, "Oh yeah, this is the castle I played soccer in front of." I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like, it's very,
castle?
He lives in Malahide, the Malahide Castle.
Of course, the Malahide Castle.
Yeah,
the castle in Malahide, of course. But I met you in Vicar Street. You came into one of my shows. You didn't come in. You were just hanging around. You were doing a show in Dublin.
Yes.
And you came in and you were hanging out with the new. You weren't with them that long at that stage.
No, we just started. We hooked up like a year or two prior, and then it was just like it was just on and off and on and off and a lot of off. But then we've like dated for the last, like, we were calculating the other day because everybody asks us how long we've been together, and we both say we don't know. But I would say 3 years.
Yeah, it's a nice
2.5
amount of time.
Yeah. When Irish guys, man.
Well,
I remember. Do you remember Simon?
Do I remember Simon?
Yeah. Of Simon?
I know of Simon. I don't remember him.
I freaked out at him because I was on. Yeah.
Who's Simon?
But an Irish guy that I dated, who my boyfriend knows. They all kind of know each other in a way.
Yeah.
But like I've always, and the first man I was madly in love with was my teacher when I was in 7th grade. But he was Irish. He was American, but like I think maybe first generation. But like there's something about Irish men that really does it for me. What are your thoughts on that?
Great question. I'm wrangling with it at the moment because I'm from Dublin, but I live in London. So I'm dealing with English men a lot.
They're different.
Very buttoned up.
Very.
They have like a cockiness. You would know it more than I do, but like but they're very attractive.
Yeah.
But they're kind of like skittish or something. It's weird.
It's strange because you'd wonder, like, in a world that isn't as big as it used to be and everyone's online, how there are still cultural differences. It kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
So I think I'm a bit spoiled with Irish lads because I kind of took them for granted because they're mine. I own them because I'm from Ireland.
Yeah.
And I own all of them. So then when I went away, you know yourself, if you're on holidays, and are you both from New York?
She's from Jersey. I'm from Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we lived here a while.
So if you're away on a holiday
Yeah.
and you meet someone else from New York, you're naturally drawn to that person.
That's how I feel about people from New Jersey, actually.
Yeah.
East
But yeah,
Coast.
anytime I'm like loving someone, I ultimately find out they're from New Jersey
There
pretty
you go.
much every time.
There's a tribalism, there's a shared experience, all that
Yes.
stuff. So Ireland has that, particularly New Jersey, it's smaller. So because Ireland's smaller, there's a bigger shared experience.
so small.
It's small.
Yeah.
You can drive from one end of Ireland to the other
What
in a
big
day.
culture, but a tiny land.
That's it. I know. It's
Yeah.
like we're on speed.
When
I don't know how we do it.
Yeah, my first trip to Ireland, which is when I met you, I did all these tours. Vaughn and I did all these tours, and they were saying like there are more people not in Ireland, Irish people not in
Yeah.
Ireland than in Ireland.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of Irish people
Yeah.
in New York City and all throughout the states.
We ride like maggots.
I love it though. More of
tell
you.
you.
I want more of you.
I don't know what it is. We're just a very fertile country. But so when I moved away then, I didn't realize how well I had it with Irish lads, because English guys I found a little drier. Now I have
Drier.
a little drier.
Like with their humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but I've managed to lubricate some of them to my will.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
they probably get a kick out of you. I feel like a British guy will get a kick out of an Irish woman.
Yeah, they do. They think, yeah, they.
But not in a sexy, hot way.
I don't. Sometimes it's hard. I'm sure you both know, being a woman who works in comedy, it can be difficult.
It's not a selling point.
Nope. It's a deterrent.
It's a handicap.
It's a deterrent.
That's why everyone's like, why do you constantly date comedians? And I'm like, because they appreciate the thing that I appreciate most
Yeah.
about myself, which is my humor, and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna like settle for anything else.
And
Yeah,
Irish
it's tough.
guys love a female comedian.
They can handle it.
British guys, I don't have experience with it, but like I can't see them loving.
It's
the
a
comedy part.
harder sell.
How have you had a direct experience with this? I assume. Like,
yeah.
So what has gone down in the past to give you this impression?
Just because, like, sex, as we all know, it's a power play. It just is. Even if you consciously decide it's not going to be, it is. It's just power. It's dynamics. It's all that stuff.
Energy,
So,
yeah.
when you're a female performer and you're on stage and you're selling tickets and you're touring your own shows, there's power to that.
Yeah,
Of course.
So men, there's different types of men. There's men who will come in and try and undermine you because they're not comfortable with the power. They'll try and kind of rebalance the power by negging you or pretending they don't care about your career or pretending that they're not impressed by anything that you do or coming to shows and kind of like sitting there with their arms folded staring at the wall, which I've also had.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
they're bored by it.
They're bored by your show.
Yeah. Sitting in the box with my mother in the bored.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Or then there's men who are like all about it, but they're almost too about it.
Oh wait,
Like-
tell me more about that.
So
Krystyna.
That's my second. I'm gonna masturbate while we go.
would you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I
mean, maybe not though. What is that experience like for you? Like, what does it look like?
I think I want to be gently, respectfully ignored. Not.
I see.
Not adored. I don't want to be adored. I don't want it.
Okay.
Well,
So I
that's
think-
interesting because that's like that means like you're bringing a lot of masculine energy because like the feminine role is to be adored, but it's hard to kind of flip flop to that when your career is so powerful.
It's an absolute melt.
And it
Trying
sucks
to
because
find the balance.
As a woman, like having a career in stand-up, like commanding the stage is one of the most badass things you can do, especially by yourself. There's no instruments, there's no cues. It's just you and your voice.
Yeah.
It's your energy commanding the stage. I feel like I'm swinging my dick around when I do it. I love it.
Yeah.
But and you come back, like when you go off stage and your boo's there, you soften and you want them to do their thing then.
Yeah.
Swing their dick.
And it is hard because then you get into the car and you're back to just boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
But you've been working the backstage because there's promoters there and agents there and all that stuff. And it's just, I have found it difficult, I would say.
Yeah.
Difficult. I haven't figured it out yet or haven't met the person who can figure it out with me.
It's like Goldilocks. It's always it's too much of one of the things.
That's it. And there has to be some middle ground. But then again, I don't know because I want them to respect me and what I do because I've worked very hard to get where I am. But I also want to sometimes just be like a girlfriend, you know?
Yeah, it's like
I
a
don't
nice
know.
vacation, like a mental vacation from like the stress of your career.
Yeah, so shifting in between those two versions of yourself in front of a guy, it's confusing for both of you.
Interesting.
It's confusing for him and it's confusing for me.
Because it's a dance.
It's a dance.
It's a dance you both do while you are on stage and while you are off stage.
I think I've gone out with comics before and...
Sorry.
I know.
They're fun. They're fun, and I get it.
So funny.
They're so funny. It's so hard
so
to
annoying.
go
And
you
back
can say
to regular
fucked up
funny when
things.
you've experienced professional funny. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I went out with a comic once. Gone out with a couple of comics. Dated a couple of comics, I'd say, and I've never laughed as much with anyone as I have with him. And it's the laughter is very annoying because with laughing comes good sex and all that stuff. It's all tied up.
Yeah.
But they are mental.
Yeah.
Also that.
They should be sectioned.
Well, that's why Irish guys are like stand-up comedians without the stand-up comedian. Like they're as funny as a stand. Like Colin's the funniest boyfriend I've ever had.
Yeah,
he's so fucking, and he entertains me in the relationship. And I'm like, thank God. I don't want to be the entertaining one.
Yeah.
I'm entertaining everywhere else. Like I want to be wooed by your funniness. Yeah.
That's why it's so nice after shows. You know, I don't really go out after shows because I've kind of expelled my social energy and I'm happy to just sit in a dark room and drink a bottle of wine. But when I go out with friends, before I was in stand-up at parties and stuff, I'd be trying to hold court and I'd be telling stories and stuff because I didn't get it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Whereas now, because I'm so lucky that I have it in work, at parties, I'm mute. I don't say anything.
Good. Yeah.
I'm happy to, I'm just so entertained by whoever is telling funny stories and all. So it's the same with your boyfriend. It's so nice to have.
It's so nice. Now I'm curious, like, so Irish people are the Catholicism out of all of the religions. I mean, religion, any extreme religion is going to fuck somebody up, sexually especially. But Catholicism, I have never seen a religion do this so much damage to people, Irish or not.
Yeah.
And a lot of
it's not our fault. It was a global issue.
For sure.
Ireland didn't. I used to do this gag about how Ireland invented paedophilia, but.
No, that was the archdiocese.
That was the archdiocese. It's like we unionised them, we gave them little uniforms and everything, dog collars and everything. But yeah, no, it's I mean, what can you say about it? Like, it's disgusting.
When you were beginning your sexual career, it was with Irish guys, right? I assume because you were like, and so because you grew up there, did you notice that like they had something that it felt like they were holding back?
No, because my generation, we were probably the last generation. And again, I'm not great on facts. I'm a more kind of sweeping statement kind of person. With no data to back myself up. But so my generation wouldn't have been religious.
Okay.
So my mother's generation would have been religious.
Yeah.
So she's 70 odd now. I'm 41. So I don't know what the 50-year-olds are like. But by the time it got to us, we kind of knew it was a bit of a cot. Do you know what I mean?
Nice. And your parents were like, yeah, it's okay. Like they weren't like so disappointed?
Well, no, of course they weren't. Of course they weren't like, it's okay. Are you insane? I remember I was seeing this guy. Sorry, Eric, I just ate them right there. I was seeing this guy, whose name I will not say. I was just about to say his name. I realised I can't do that. And we were dating, and he was very rich. So my mother was obsessed with it working.
How rich was he?
He was pretty rich.
Wow.
Right? It was all family money, but he was rich.
That's the richest ones.
Yeah. And say his name is Pat.
Okay.
I'd ring my mum, and I don't ring my mum that much, so usually she senses if my name pops up, there is some sort of emergency.
Okay.
And she'd answer, she'd be like, is everything okay with Pat? Is everything okay with Pat? Like, I could be on dialysis in a hospital, it wouldn't matter. Once things were still working with Pat. Anyway, me and Pat broke up. It wasn't working. We were on different pages, all the usual stuff, blah, blah, blah. Nothing bad. And I was like, look, it's not happening with Pat. And my mother was like I'd jilted him at the altar. She was like, what? Why? And I was like, well, he didn't really make me laugh. And she was like, oh, and you're so funny, are you? You're so entertaining.
Mother McNally.
Of course. But anyway, that's, you know, they're like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
Get over yourself. He's got money. You don't have any money.
Yeah.
He has money.
So logistical.
Yeah, you can laugh with your friends, Joanne.
The other thing about Irish culture that I find so interesting, and I say to Colin all the time, I'm like, God, you're so Irish. Like, you, like the shy, and you don't have this, but like, and maybe it's an older generation because he's 50s or he's almost 50s, so he's older, but like shy to promote and like, who am I to deserve the spotlight? Like, just so undeserving of the spotlight, and which is so interesting to me because you guys are the most talented motherfuckers. Like writing, poetry, it's all there.
I don't know what we are. We're weird.
There's like a shyness with self-promotion.
It's that we know that Irish people don't enjoy vanity of any, like, truly yet. So
which is appealing as a people, like as a fucking American, which we would never know what that's like. I look at that, I'm like, I respect that.
We like humility. We like an underdog.
Yeah.
We like people who don't get above their station, etc.
And you've all agreed on that. Like every Irish person.
There was an invisible memo went around. You're just, when you're born, you just have that in your DNA. You just know to not get ahead of yourself. Yeah. But I should have finished it. So your man, Pat. So we were together for a couple of months, 3 months, I'd say. So when Mum heard it was over, she was obviously devastated. And then she said, well, you can hold your head high, Joanne. And I said, why? And she goes, well, it's only 3 months. I assume it wasn't physical.
Girl.
So there's
the Catholicism.
Yeah. So that'll show you the difference in our generation. I was like, it was physical. Within, 30 minutes.
Wow. And like, how old were you at that time?
30s. Late 20s. Oh, yeah.
You did not have sex?
She's old school.
That's crazy.
She's old school.
Does she think you have sex now?
Nah, she knows. I mean, she's no choice. Yeah.
She got the memo.
Is she okay with that?
She comes to the shows and stuff.
Oh, okay. So she's softened.
Yeah. Well, she just says things like, sure, I couldn't hear a thing. When I know full well she heard every single word.
Well, she's probably excited because she looks at the crowd and the size of it. And she's probably like, now you're Pat.
Yeah. She's like, there's money in the room.
Pat.
There's money in the room. Yeah.
And what about your dad? Like, is your dad like that?
He's dead. Yeah.
How long ago did he die?
He's 20 years dead. I know that your dad died recently. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Yeah. Ugh, bummer.
My dad's dead a long time, to the point where it's like, it's not a, you know.
Were you close with him?
Well, he was very unwell, so I'm adopted. Not that is a reason, that didn't kill him off or anything. But so that's why he liked it. No, he didn't. The first one did. But my mum and dad, he was actually English originally. He's from Lancashire. And then my mum was a nurse. She's retired now. And my dad had a real fetish for Irish women. He had a real thing for Irish women. So when my mum was training as a nurse in London, my dad would go to all the Irish dances in the hope of trying to meet.
He really was committed to this.
Oh, wow.
I respect
wanted
that.
an Irish woman. He wanted an Irish woman.
Wow.
And he got one.
Yeah.
So then they couldn't have kids. And then she said, I'd like to adopt. And my dad said, I'm not sure about that. And she was like, tough shit, they're in the car.
Irish women, baby. Yeah.
She's like, you don't really, no one cares about your opinion. Yeah. It's happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now, did your parents tell you from jump?
Oh, yeah. From day one. Like, I think, because I
the moment you were born, the moment they met you, you're adopted, just FYI.
You're a plan C. Okay. No, but I was never sat down and told. What they did was they made it into a bedtime story.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So every night we were told we were loved so much that everyone was like panicking about how much they loved us, and no one thought they were up to the job. That was kind of how it was sold to us.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, also too, like I found out as a sperm donor baby like a couple years ago. So my parents kept it from me, but like it does, and it's totally different from adoption. But there is this thing of like your parents went through great lengths to get you 100%. Specifically, and I'm like, you're so special.
I know. That was how it was sold to us.
Yeah.
Were you adopted as a baby?
As a baby, yeah. So I think it's like 6 months or something.
Have you ever tried to find?
Yeah, no, I found them both.
Oh, how was that?
Yeah. So I'm not allowed to speak about my biological mother.
Okay,
I'll
no worries.
that.
No worries. Yeah.
I found them both.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm still in contact with my birth father.
Wow.
Not so much my birth mother. We didn't really, there was some stuff there going on from both our sides, but my father, he's in Australia now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got an earring. He's really cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Did you look like him? Like that's what I would be so interested in. Really?
Spits.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when I found my birth mother, I looked nothing like her. And one of the things I really missed growing up, but I can't say I missed it because I never had it to miss. But one thing that really, I think, affected me growing up was not looking like anyone. Which you have.
Yeah, my brother told me I was the mailman's baby my whole life, but my parents didn't tell me that I was the mailman's baby until I found out. I did 23andMe and got DMs from people that were like, "Hey, sister," and I'm like, "Huh?" And then I asked my mom, and she goes, "Oh yeah." Oops.
The casualness of that.
Yeah, I filmed it because I thought it was a joke, and so I have a sick video of it.
Oh my God.
Of me going, what?
You did that? No.
Yeah, because I thought it was a joke. I was like, there's no way. Maybe my uncle donated sperm or something. There's no way. And I told myself, this is so stupid, but like in the winter, my hands will peel and my dad's hands, who raised me, peel. And I'm like, he has to be my real dad. Where my hands peel? I was just trying to make it logical in my head.
But it was your mum's egg?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you probably do you look like her?
Kind of. We both have curly hair, but my biological father had like a Jew fro, which I'm like, that I have more similar hair to him.
Okay.
But I do not look like my biological dad either.
It's so disappointing when that happens.
I know. I'm like, I don't know what it is about looking like one of your parents, but it just feels good.
It's context for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like anchoring yourself to somebody.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
And Corinne was with me when I met the daughter that my biological dad had raised, and I hugged her. And I mean, it was emotional for so many reasons, but I felt, I don't know, maybe I'm making this up, but I don't know. I really did feel like I felt that we were DNA related. Like,
interesting.
It was weird. I had to go outside and like I have a little panic attack and come back.
Yeah. It's a lot. Like,
it's a lot.
Yeah. And some people feel very connected to their siblings when they meet them, and some people don't. And there's just no template for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have siblings, biological siblings?
Yeah, loads of them.
Loads.
Well, they're all halves.
Oh, okay.
I say that's terrible. They're like, obviously they're not.
Irish families do have a lot of kids though, right?
Well, I have a brother who was also adopted, like as in the brother I was raised with.
Okay,
Connor.
got it.
And then my birth mother has 3 kids and my birth father has 4 kids.
Okay.
So when I saw he's got all boys.
Oh, wow.
And they're all just basically me.
Wow.
Yeah. In overalls.
Weird.
It's very strange because they're electricians. Yeah, it was crazy. It was so bizarre to see.
They're probably making good money.
I know. Yeah, my mum would be delighted. She's like, hook up with them. Apparently that can happen, you know.
Yeah. We interviewed a woman here named Laura who is like found out she was always told she was donor conceived, but like she thought that this is her passion. She's a stand up, but she's passionate about this, and she's told us stories about how half siblings have had sex. They have been in relationships because you kind of like a lot of couples do look alike. Like it's weird. Like doing stand up, you're like, oh, you a couple, you brother and sister. So yeah, it makes sense that you would be attracted to somebody that looks kind of like you.
And that you have
Feels
this.
like home. Yeah.
Exactly. There's a connection there.
Yum.
And you don't, ew.
Home, it's what's for dinner.
Oh my God.
Your kids get glasses.
It's so common that when I was going about doing my thing, I was given a whole pamphlet on it, like particular pamphlet on like don't ride your
not
family.
Fucking your,
Ride your family.
Yeah. Don't get overexcited.
Wow. I would love to see this pamphlet.
I fucking love Irish people. You just say things that I'm like, that's great. That's really good. I go to Colin. I go to Ireland for like my holidays now, like like Christmas and stuff, and I'm like,
oh my God, amazing.
This is so much better. Like you feel like the sense of humor of the people at large is just relaxing to be around.
The grass is always greener.
It's so green in Ireland too.
The grass is very green.
So
very green.
Very green. But like, well, I'm buzzing around New York at the moment, and I'm like, God, I'd love to. Would I live here? Maybe I'll live here.
Christmas in New York is special.
New York is one of the most incredible places in the world. And I've not been to everywhere, but I gotta say, living here for almost 18, 20 years.
Of it.
I've lived here over 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, man, you really, you love a place if like you still miss coming home to it. Like,
it's like, sometimes it's like a film set for me anyway, because I was raised watching American TV and films and stuff. So like I'm still the one. I'm taking photos of the school buses and everything. Like really embarrassing. Like
no, that's
what you
smoke
think
coming
is
up from the
that's very iconic.
All that stuff.
In Ireland, I was taking a picture of every sheep and everyone was just like there were a lot of them. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Clovers.
Like, all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm walking here and the traffic lights and everything. But there's so many characters in New York. The other day, I was getting the subway and this guy walked down. There's obviously all the lads dancing with the speakers and stuff.
Yep.
Pushing trolleys around. And then this lad comes down. He's got no top on. He's absolutely jacked.
Yeah.
He's wearing a shower cap.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Showtime.
And I was like, oh my God. This is so New York. And then he drops down in front of me and starts doing press-ups.
Yep.
And I was like, I'd love to take a photo of that, but I can't. GDPR. But like, just like that, it's just character upon character. It's like a sitcom.
Nothing is weird here.
Exactly, but it's all weird.
It's all weird. You could be bawling your eyes out and everyone's like, yeah, you'll be okay. Like, it's just kind of, and also like we're rude, but we're also like, if you fall, we'll fucking help you. Like, yours are very helpful. Like very like, it's a good vibe.
Some of my interactions with wait and staff and stuff, I'm like, oh my God, they hate me. Like they're going to stab me. Yeah.
Oh, they just want
that's
They just want the next stage.
And then someone else, they're like insanely friendly. I'm like, I'm being gaslit by the city. I don't know what's happening. What have I done? Yeah, it's a crazy city. I think I'd love to do like a year here or something, maybe.
Yeah. Well, you're single, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much
Yeah, so you could date a little bit while you're here. Do you do dating apps?
So this was where this started. I was saying, I downloaded the apps. I thought I'd be drowning in lads.
Which app did you download?
Hinge.
Oh,
that's a good
I'm
one.
on Ray, yeah.
I was going to say Ray is good.
Like, no, yeah, I was like, did you write you're a
maybe?
comedian on Ray? Because
Go
you're
write
not going to get any
comedian.
hits. You have to say something else.
Yeah.
Say you're an entertainer.
Say you're a writer.
Yeah.
A writer. Do
Or
they
an
not like
actress
it?
or
They don't like, yeah, they don't like
We had
it.
a little experiment where I think like you had writer on your, I had comedian on mine, stand-up comedian.
And Krystyna's like,
0 hits, the hottest. I was like,
Yeah.
these photos are so hot.
You're
What
like, I'm
the
like a
fuck?
model.
Yeah.
but
and I'm like,
also we're
what are the
competing
titties?
with literal models.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
And in New York, which is the city of models.
Yeah.
The hottest women in the world live in New York City.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
so you
all right,
can't-
All right.
It's a
That's tough
shambles.
And it's
competition.
naturally pretty.
Yeah.
Whereas LA
with
is
no
like you could
makeup.
go to the doctor and get that pretty.
Yeah.
And New York is the worst kind of pretty, which is just you were born pretty.
0 makeup. It looks like the light's always hitting you perfectly. You're like,
Annoyingly
Beautiful.
pretty.
fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. I was
Yeah.
walking behind a young woman in her 20s the other day, and she was wearing this very short skirt. And I was trying to see an inch of cellulite. 'Cause, like, you could see her cheeks kind of popping out from
Yeah,
either
yeah.
side.
I love
She
that.
was stunning.
God
Stunning.
bless.
She's like 6 foot something. She was
Yeah.
beautiful. But I was looking, I was like, there's no fucking...
Yeah, no.
No.
It's like
And she
someone
probably
spray
didn't do
painted
good
her.
work.
She's like a mannequin that
Yeah.
someone's brought to life.
Yes. That's
Disgusting.
all here. Yeah,
Disgusting.
That's
Yeah,
why
you're right.
when
I'm not moving here.
When we travel, well,
it.
but it's still
I'm going
great.
home.
It's still good. I gotta say, and that's also like when I go to other places and you're like on the hotter scale, you're higher on the hotter scale in other places. You're like, oh, thank God. Okay.
I know.
It is nice, but as somebody who's like sensitive to that, I don't mind it still.
Yeah.
living here.
And
you
your
know?
and personality goes further in New York than it does in LA.
Yeah.
So
100%.
you have that.
So wait,
I'd like to get 2 dates before I go home.
So you've had none. What is it? What's your job say? It says comedian.
Hinge says comedian. Raya probably says comedian as well.
Hinge is what is on Hinge? What is the age bracket that you have for men?
Oh, quite young.
I do that
Hell
too,
yeah.
but I mean, I think like also you wrote your real age, and most people are lying. And once you start the profile, I made that mistake too. I was honest about my age, and you have to lie by like 5 years younger.
You get one
because all the
change.
men are lying. Everyone's lying, so
I
you
know.
have to lie to
How would
keep
men lie
up.
about their
I tried to change so I set up my Hinges going so long, and then I deleted it if I'm with someone, when I set up my original age, I was young.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
I was young.
Yeah.
I've been swimming around that thing for 10 years. So I tried to change it recently.
Yeah.
You get into
get a
North
new
Korea easier.
Yeah.
You want your fucking passport and all.
No, I agree. Well, the thing is, because men here, so I like to date guys in their 20s too, and they are very willing to date people our age, but not in writing. You have to meet them in real life.
Yes.
On the app, they're not going to go for 41, but in real life, a 25-year-old
You both
definitely
look
will
young.
go.
You both look young.
What are we going to do? What age are you on yours?
I mean, I'm not on it anymore because I have a boyfriend, but when my bracket was like, I think 25 to 39, I think was the bracket that I was in. But I was my real age. I mean, I'm 39, and on my apps it says that I'm 39. I'm not a big apps person, but like I do feel like I know for a fact that guys in their 20s will date you. Honestly, just walk around the East Village and make hard eye contact. But the thing is, you're gonna have to hit on them. They won't hit on you. That's the only downside. Or how are you?
Go to
with
like
that?
Phoebe's. Go to Phoebe's in the
I'm
East
not
Village.
great at it.
It's so funny because we're both so like in your face, but like I also don't like hitting on guys, but they're into it, but they're not going to make the move because they're afraid of the rejection.
And we're on the street. Guys in their 20s can fuck.
I mean, I get straight up catcalled by young guys in the East Village, I've never been catcalled by someone I was interested in fucking until I was over 35 in the East Village.
Wow.
Do you know? And it's all guys in their 20s. It's insane.
Do you know what? You've just reminded me. So there's Soho House. You've Soho House in New York.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a Soho House.
A couple locations.
Well, there's a couple of them in London. I was in one of them, and I was half cut, which is obviously pissed. And I went up to some guy. I was just on one. I'd put tan on my legs, and I was really feeling myself. My legs were out, so I was being a cocky little bitch. And I went up to this lad, and I just went pointed to my eyes and pointed to his eyes.
I love this for you, Joanne.
Just went like that, and I'd no bra on me, right? So I just went
nice,
down.
nice.
And then I totted off. And then I forgot about it. And I came out of the bathroom And he was standing there. And he's like, hey. And I was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
you're still
that
here.
worked. That was so easy. Is that all it took? Anyway, he was only 20 something. Brought it back to the flat. Nothing actually happened. One of the girls came back as well and cock-blocked me completely. Fair play. But I was saying to him, I was like, he was 25, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in my 40s. And he's like, well, firstly, I didn't know that when you did the eye thing.
Yeah.
He's like, but now I do know it and I don't care. And I was like, why don't you care? I was like, just interesting to hear.
Yeah.
He said, because I think it's attractive because he was like, you don't need anything from me. He's like, I could be sitting on this couch or not sitting on this couch. You don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's like, I find that attractive.
Men
freeing.
really love when women don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit.
In terms of that.
And then also that story where, that's one of the things I love about younger guys. You can do the
that.
power move you want to do. Cause like the energy in me, I want to be John Cusack with the boombox. That's who I am.
Yeah.
But that's, people don't, when you do that as a woman, it's crazy.
Yes, it is.
But
They
that's
don't
who
like
I
that.
am in my heart. And so you can do the boombox move and get a younger guy and they don't think you're crazy. An older guy would be like, lock this lady up.
What is that about?
What is
because
that?
I
They
think
think you want to have babies right away?
Well, I also think these men, men in their 20s, they grew up in a time where women were allowed to be more confident, more front and center.
sexual. Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're dealing with a different generation
Yeah.
who views women in totality in a different way, and I think it's great.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're across the board, they're still kind of all assholes. So just get a younger guy.
Get a guy who can fuck.
I was watching Woman of the Hour last night.
Me too. I just watched that.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's Anna Kendrick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw the thumbnail.
And when she does the dating show and the makeup woman leans in and she's like, what I've learned is she's trying to decide which man to choose. And she's like, you're just choosing which one's going to hurt you. And
Yeah,
it's like,
that was the line of the
Depressing.
film.
Yeah, same.
That was
I
the
know.
line of the film.
ouch.
Yeah, that was haunting.
Well,
Have you had epic breakups before?
I only do epic breakups.
That's
Go
how you
big
know
or
you
go
really
home, baby.
love.
No, seriously though, I love hard and I break up hard.
Yeah.
What was your most epic one?
I wonder if I would hope, because it took me, I think I would say, from start to finish, 5 years to really shake it. To not give a shit about it. Like
about it,
him,
relationship. Oh, this one person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Like
Wow.
to not have any anger, to not have any resentment. It was a solid 5, I would say.
Yeah.
Is this your last relationship?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is the most
I've had
epic
loads.
one. Oh, how'd you break up? Like, what was that breakup like?
It was very bad. It was very toxic. There was cheating happening. I wasn't cheating. He was cheating.
Okay.
He just was one of those guys.
Yeah.
He cannot be tamed.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's fine. I just didn't understand. I was too naive at the time, and it wasn't an equal relationship. I was besotted by him. I was obsessed with him.
Yeah.
I thought he was God.
Yeah.
Which is never healthy. It's not healthy for him or me.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's not. Yeah. It's
You know?
not. And that's a cracked foundation to build anything on.
100%.
You can't. Yeah.
It's not, and I think that's immaturity on my part as well. I don't think I have that in me again. I don't think that would ever happen to me again.
Yeah.
But because it was my whole life, I genuinely thought we would die together.
Right.
So when that doesn't happen, it was wild.
How long were you together?
Oh, like a week. No, we weren't. We were together about 2-3 years, I'd say.
Oh,
Okay, that's significant.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, no,
significant.
it was significant.
Well,
yeah.
it's always pretty bad. Like when you kind of worship the guy or like put him on a pedestal and the relationship ends. That's a way tougher breakup to get over.
Because I was like, if he's not looking at me, I do not exist. It was one of those.
Oh shit.
I am
Yeah.
only real through this man's eyes. I am only interesting through this man's eyes. I am only attractive to this man. Like it was. I mean,
And he might have been the type of personality that was orchestrating that.
well, he's definitely, a very charismatic man who gets a lot of female attention.
Yeah.
And I really
That's
gave
also
it to him.
interesting. I've never dated a guy. I have this bit that I do on stage about my current boyfriend that I'm like, I never thought I was a jealous girlfriend, but that's because I've never dated a guy other women wanted to fuck.
Yeah.
When you do date a guy other women want to fuck, like he's a singer and he's like women come up to him afterwards. I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
No, I'll push bitches. I push,
serious?
yeah.
Go on,
Oopsies.
tell me.
Yeah. I do a bit. I say this thing. I'm like, it's a little exaggerated, but not really. I'm like, yeah, this one woman was hitting on him with his chart titty, like, you're so good. And I'm like, I pushed her. And she's like, did you just push me? And I said, no, but I did. I did push her.
I know, it is very difficult.
But I've never had that, but I've never dated a guy that was wanted by women. I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh. That's a whole other stress level that you just have to get over.
It's really hard because you kind of believe that jealousy is an immature reaction to something, but it's not. It's actually quite a natural reaction. Like, I'd love to be that evolved that I don't care if my boyfriend's like dry humping some woman in the corner. I do.
I mean, that's,
I do.
A little bit.
But the thing is, though, I'm a cuck. So, like, the idea of my partner, for the last couple of relationships I've had, the idea of my partner having sex with somebody in front of me, I have to kind of, be there for it, not him cheating, turns me on, but only when it's orchestrated.
Like an old-school cook.
Yo, yeah. I love it. It turns, like, it's what I masturbate to almost exclusively. But when it happens in the wild, it's not something like, we're not at a sex club, we're at, like, a concert or whatever, like, absolutely.
Yeah, because you're not in control.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't die. This isn't, you're doing this. This is happening to me. I'm not orchestrating this.
And it's also tough because, a male singer has a sexier, like, they can express their sexuality in their career. A female stand-up comedian, it's not, I'm not expressing my sexual nature. I'm not,
I mean, if you are, but it's like,
yeah.
Like no one really likes that.
We're going the opposite way.
As you have shown on stage.
It's your show.
Your work.
It's your most
my stand-up is not hot.
I don't know any
I lose
female
my
comics
absolute mind.
Yeah.
I'm like a farm animal on stage.
Yeah, you're clowning. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what's funny.
Yeah, and that's what's enjoyable.
The male comic that I dated, oh my God, like women coming out of eyeballs.
Yeah. And that, like, did that make you want him more? Like, did it?
It made it difficult because, like that, I was jealous.
Yeah.
And
who do you go with that?
That's it. And, like, you can't stop him. And he definitely indulged it and enjoyed it. But who was I to tell him that he couldn't do that? He's like, I'm not acting on it. It's a minefield, I would say.
It is. It's tricky.
It's a minefield.
It's tricky.
But because I would just be like, if I was you, I would just be like, I'm fucking JOANNE McNALLY. I don't okay, have your little fans. Like, that's fine.
That's cute.
Thank you. But this was before I'd really made any inroads.
Okay.
But now,
you look back at him and you're like, fuck that guy.
I'd like to think, but then again, I was in this kind of situation with this other guy recently, and he was doing a very good job of making sure that I didn't think that he thought anything about my job in any way. And he...
Like that he was intimidated or?
He was like, I don't say too much because I'll probably be back with him in a week, but... I'm trying to stop to rinse him. Yeah. I'm like, take me back.
I've been there, girl. Oh, boy.
It was a funny one. Like, I would have thought that I was above being made feel less than. Yeah. And I'm not.
Yeah.
And he did that. It happened again. But he didn't do it. I did it to myself in that situation. Blah, blah, blah. But it was the same situation again where some lads are just gamey. And those gamey men, I'm just not suited to gamey men.
Yeah. It's exhausting. It's stupid. It's not going anywhere.
I don't want a gamey man. I don't want a man who's like following 10 women a day on Instagram. I don't want any of that stuff. I just don't. I want my fucking peace.
When you look at his followers and they're all just like titties.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Oh, another Pilates instructor. That's nice.
Yeah. Oh, you probably like her for her, huh?
Yeah. And then and it makes you feel like such a personality hire because I don't look like those women.
Right.
Hilarious.
And I'm like, I'm the personality hire. I'm the one he can a bit of crack with over dinner. He's like, you're like one of the lads. I'm like, well, that's I'm so ash. Thanks.
Yeah. That's the least.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think I'll just be alone.
It is easier.
Dog.
It's easier.
Yeah. Get a dog regardless.
Get a dog
anyway.
Yeah.
Get a dog.
I'm just not up for having my head wrecked anymore.
Yeah.
Of course.
No head wrecking.
Yeah.
Peace.
But like I could see you like doing well with like a sensitive man. Like it's like a sensitive, like artistic, like
until she calls him the F word.
A restaurateur.
Yeah. But then maybe he goes, it's hilarious. I don't know.
Find someone who likes that.
You need some. But the older I get, the more in awe I am of people who do make it work with people because I think it's really hard.
Yeah, it takes work.
It takes a lot of work.
It takes work. Like you have to like choose to be there. Not every day, but like, it feels good when you choose it every day.
Yeah.
How do you feel about getting really into astrology?
Well, I really want to believe in something.
Right, okay. So
good start.
Strong start.
So boy, do we have the thing for you.
Yeah.
Boy, do we have.
I know you girls are into your tarot cards and stuff. At one stage, I did think that astrology was a sign of mental illness. I am weakening to that.
Yeah.
I'd love to believe in it.
Yeah. So download the Pattern app. if you haven't.
I thought you were more on CoStar now.
I am on CoStar, but the pattern just, I'm like, fuck.
I cried the first time I read the pattern description of myself because I said, no one's ever gotten me like this app. And I stand by it.
So that
no one's ever understood me the way the patterns understood
me. Most 2024 thing I've ever heard.
No, but like the pattern app will make you go.
Me like this AI robot.
The pattern app will make you think there's a camera in your home because you're like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Like, it's crazy.
So, and I don't want to piss on your spiritual parade.
No, you can piss all over it.
Fine.
I read this book called Paranormality.
Okay.
Which was basically, I can't remember your man's name. He offered up £1 million reward to anyone who could prove paranormal activity. Now I know I know astrology is different.
I have 3 ghost detectors. I
can on a gold mine.
No. I have divining rods. I can.
Are you
How much
serious?
money? Fuck, is he still doing
$1 million, yes.
Wait, he's still doing it?
No one ever took it. No one ever got it.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Krystyna has some work to do.
All right.
You have what?
I'm about to be rich. Okay, go ahead.
You have what rods?
Divining rods. Well, and it's also like proven, like the U.S. government very famously hires people who know how to use dividing rods to find water underground. It's like the only thing you can do.
This isn't extraterrestrial. This is like paranormal stuff.
Yeah, like ghosts, like people who passed away. Yeah. That works for that.
I love this.
This is my obsession is the afterlife and aliens. But
so I read this book and I'm quite cynical.
As you should be. Yeah, totally.
I'm a
but
bit
Ireland's
cynical.
also very haunted.
Yeah.
But okay.
Vogue, who I do
Maybe
a
I
podcast
think that because I'm not from there.
I do a podcast with a woman called Vogue Williams, and she would be like you. She'd be big into the ghosts and all that jazz.
Yeah.
I amn't. But so anyway, they were talking about the skill to having your cards read, and they say, like, they'll tell you everything. So they'll say, you're really good at people. They'll be like, Corinne, you're really good at people, but you're also not good at people.
Right.
But you've got really shiny hair, but also at times you've got really dull hair.
Yeah.
And then you just hear...
Oh my God.
You hear what you want to
my-"
hear.
Exactly.
Of course,
it's all the confirmation bias.
Yeah.
And then that's what you take home, and that's kind of how it all works.
Yeah, that's horseshit.
Honestly, though, I don't... Yeah, when you just go and get your cards read, I don't understand how people can read tarot if they don't know what's going on in your life. That is still a mystery to me. I read my own tarot.
Interpretation.
And I have one person who I allow to read my tarot other than that, and that's it. I don't cold go to people. And also, like the term psychic, I really don't like, but all the time that most times when people are calling themselves a psychic, they're just using tarot cards. I do believe in tarot cards, but you have to be very careful. You can get obsessed with them. And I mean, like Carl Jung, I always bring up, he was very into tarot cards.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know
he
that.
was.
Yeah, I mean, his colleagues all made fun of him.
Well, he went wrong. He's an epic person in the field of psychology.
Yeah, he is.
And he believed in paranormal stuff too.
I do like the idea of a bit of guidance, whether it's real or not. There's something nice. There's something kind of reassuring about someone just saying, "Here's the car. Everything will be okay, and you'll do this." And that's nice. It's kind of a bit terrifying at times when you realize we're all just out here raw dogging it on planet Earth.
For sure.
So it's lovely having that. That's why I think that's why religion was such a loss to people, because it kind of gave them that like.
Guidance.
Pretend guidance.
Yeah, well, I think religion at its core, it can be a really beautiful thing.
Yes.
Because it could be actual community and actual guidance and actual, like, be kind to people. And if you're struggling, let's talk about it. Like, what a beautiful thing.
Raping and killing people.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't kill a gal because she's pregnant. You don't want her to get an abortion.
Yeah.
But so what's the draw for tarot for you?
I think it's just like giving guidance and making it seem like your world isn't so small. Like you have access to like a larger world outside of yourself. For me, it stems, I'm not super into like the spirituality of like crystals and astrology. I only kind of got into recently. I'm very much coming from like a Wiccan perspective. I've been doing Wicca since I was like 12 years old. Cause I was in middle school when like The Craft came out. And so all my girlies, we attached to that.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Yeah.
All day. I'm all day at these sleepovers.
Like, speaking of community, like I go to coven meetings every month. Like I am in a coven. It's on Zoom, but I'm in a coven.
I love that because that's like a really fun
communal
book club kind of buzz.
It's also very feminine. So it's very powerful feminine. So that's what I'm attracted to. I mean, yes, did I get very into tarot while my dad was dying? Yes. And I acknowledge that. So you're like at a vulnerable spot and that's when they fucking get you.
Yeah.
And I have taken long breaks from it. The only reason I bought a tarot deck was because Rachel True, who's one of the witches from the craft, released it, and I wanted to support her. I never thought that I would, and then I was like, just one day I picked it up, and I was like, oh, they're not claiming like that it's like psychic ability to predict the future. You're using the cards to kind of be like more introspective, is how I would explain it.
And when you pull one
I'm
for
I'm into.
Well, when you pull one,
I'm also not into. I think that's BS, you know?
Yeah. And I think pulling a tarot card for yourself with a deck that you like kind of love and have, it's familiar to you. When it resonates with you hard, you're like looking up like, is someone watching me? Like, that's wild. But like we've both had an experience with the same psychic. Psychic is not, that feels like a cheaper word for this woman.
With a gift is how I explain this particular
person reader. She can read.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the first time I ever had a reading with her was 2014. It was ages ago. Or no, maybe like 2013. And I remember I knew her through a girl that was my friend, and she was her family friend. And so I was like so honored for her to come in my home and give me a reading. And one of the first things she said was like, your dad is dead. And I was like, ugh. And in my head, I'm like, oh, fuck, she's not real. But he was. Yeah. But I didn't know my dad wasn't my dad. And I'm like, oh, shit. And so the second I did the sperm donor thing, like one of my first thoughts was, she was right.
She also knew, like I was on text with her when my dad was dying. She literally, like within like 10 minutes of me getting the call that my dad died. So that at that time, only hospice, me, my mom, and my brother would have known my dad was dead. She texted me. How the fuck did she know that?
How did she talks to, she can
wasn't anywhere, wasn't online. It wasn't, I mean, unless she's tapped into the, like, she didn't know the hospice he was staying at. I mean, also like if she like, and then we were also, you know, my mom was like, well, you're paying her. I'm like, no, actually she was doing it for free and we were just gifting her money when we felt like it. It wasn't like there was a specific like rate. Yeah. So I'm like, there was just some things that happened that were truly unexplainable. Yeah. I don't know.
Who is this woman?
I'll tell you
we'll tell you off air.
Tell you off mic.
I haven't spoken to her in a while though.
She's very
I've been itching to though.
Yeah.
That's why I be careful. Anytime I start feeling like the spirituality like becomes an addiction or I need it, I purposely don't access it.
Like, this isn't a man.
I do like, I've often thought about getting a life coach, and I don't know what, I would love to have someone that you can check in with who will kind of put you back on track a bit.
Yeah, sure.
You like travel so much and you're on your own a lot for work. It'd be nice to have someone who you can check in with, but I don't need a therapist at the moment. I'm actually grand.
Right.
I'm actually grand. Why are you frothing at the mouth?
Your bottle of wine tipped over.
I'm actually grand.
No,
like, such a good name.
Life coach is an awesome thing. I worked with this woman who we had on the podcast, Anne-Marie, who was like a life coach, but she was also like very spiritually oriented. And it is nice because you're like, you look at all the areas in your life and you look at where you want to change that. Like, what do you want to change? But then like, it's so overwhelming for me at least. I'm like, I can't, thinking of the first step and taking it day by day is tough, but like they help you go, oh, if you just do this, like if you, like it's the equivalent of if you write one paragraph a day, by the end of 2 years, you'll have a whole book.
Yeah.
And like, look how easy that was.
Yeah.
So it's like they kind of reframe things. They're like, oh, this isn't tough.
Yeah.
Reframing is everything.
Reframing is everything. Sometimes you just need a mental reboot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm in the mood for. I'm in the mood for a mental reboot.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever been to a psychic before?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, sorry, I went to one years ago and she was like, everyone's pregnant. And I was like, that's just not true.
She's everyone's pregnant.
All your friends are pregnant. It was in Sydney in Australia, and the Australian women, they seem to have kids younger than the Irish women. So I guess she just thought of sweeping, but sure, none of my friends were even near pregnant.
She was full of crap.
She's full of shit. Yeah. She gave me the cassette tape and everything though.
Wow.
I'd love to take that out, but no, I haven't been to. But funny enough, even when I was coming in here to the studio, because it's on my mind a lot at the moment, because I think there's some women who listen to our pod who are recommending psychics to me.
And I always take recommendations. I listen to.
Yeah. I would enjoy just a kind of a check-in.
It's really cool. I mean, I've gotten a lot of readings. Some of them I'm like, I didn't resonate with any of that. And then some of them I didn't resonate, but then later I'm like, fuck, they were right. Yeah. And some of, it is kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have a friend who he's straight. I know I shouldn't say that, it's so bad, but I just don't expect straight men to be huge into tarot cards.
I wouldn't either. Yeah. I would assume they were gay as well.
Exactly.
Just because it's shocking.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, I'd invite it
like the fish.
Yeah,
but he lives and dies by them. And he has a regular psychic that he goes to. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love this.
And he's like an ex-rugby player. Like it's just
what?
Yeah, I know.
Ugh. Hubba.
It's so
date him. Oh, rugby players. That's crazy, man. No one told me about them until recently. I'm like, what the fuck?
They're just
what was happening this whole time?
Wall to wall math.
They just pull up each other's pants and then put their faces in the ass, and it's not sexual like they're doing it for the sport. But I'm watching like, This is the hottest thing I've ever seen.
I know a lad who played rugby before, and they used to haze each other really badly.
Like how?
He said they were forced to eat strawberries out of each other's arses and stuff.
I'm sorry,
Wait,
what?
Eat a what?
Forced to eat strawberries out of each other.
That's not a lot of leeway.
No, out of each other's arses.
That's rude. That's abuse.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I said that.
Yeah.
It's like, I do.
Well,
I think
rugby's
he's been
pretty gay,
abused.
but like in a way that I
I was
like.
like, that's sexual trauma.
Yeah, that is sexual trauma.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's listening, I told you.
Yeah.
See?
He's in
They
denial about
agree.
that,
I
yeah.
told you.
Yeah, sometimes
Fucking
you
weird.
hear a story and you go, maybe in the moment that felt okay. But
Right,
in
everybody-
retrospect, it seems not good.
Yeah.
Everyone's cheering.
Can you
know.
imagine having to join a book? If you joined your book club, you had to eat strawberries out of each other's arses. Imagine you're coven.
That's
You know, I can't.
No, of
and I
course.
wouldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd log off.
That's like even like more crude than the sex show I saw in Amsterdam, where a guy, people ate a bite of a cucumber out of a woman's pussy. But like, cucumber has leeway. Strawberry, you're
no
just,
leeway.
just
You
eat
have
your
to
ass.
lick it. You have to lick it out.
Right.
You have to lick it out. You have to tongue it out. Yeah. And these are all like, in inverted commas, straight men who were
Yeah.
just trying to play sport together, and whoever was in charge of the team just wanted to completely humiliate them.
Wow, that's fun.
But the Thai show that I saw, the ping pong show in Bangkok.
Oh,
I've heard of
that's
these,
next level.
yes.
It's next level, but also kind of cute, but also stupid. And this woman, one of the performers, she took a Coke bottle. Now, this is from my memory, okay? Like, I'd had a couple of drinks. I wasn't like on mushrooms or anything. This is
Yeah.
what I saw.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
I can only say what I saw. She had a Coke bottle with clear liquid in it, and she leaned back and she poured it into herself.
Okay.
Grand, fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong there.
Yeah.
Normal. And then she leaned back. She kind of like wiggled it around a little bit. And then when she kind of relieved it back into the bottle, and there was a Coca-Cola bottle, and when it came back out, it was like the colour of Coca-Cola. So it was like a brown liquid.
Whoa.
And then she handed it to a guy in the front
Stop.
row, and he
Drank it.
drank it.
Oh boy.
He drank it.
Was there hesitation on his
Her
part?
pussy's a soda stream? Like, what is
Basically, yeah.
what is happening?
She's running a
there?
Coca-Cola factory
She
inside
put,
herself.
she put maybe she put the syrup up her pussy.
I was gonna say she must have had like the syrup kind of tablet
Yeah.
is in the
That's
pussy, and then it literally is a soda stream in your pussy.
Yeah.
You know, I like when I was in Amsterdam with the sex shows. I'm like, I was expecting to see sex. I want to see sex. I want to see a P and V.
Is it not?
None of it. It's just chicks doing tricks, which it's cool.
Oh.
It's just like
Insertion
pulling things out of their
tricks.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's a scarf, and I'm like, okay,
What about those?
have sex.
I thought, is there not rooms in Amsterdam where you can look in through little peepholes and it's people riding inside the box?
Oh, if there was, I did not see those. But there are ladies of the night. Like there are sex workers that literally just stand in windows, like floor to ceiling windows,
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? That's crazy.
I know, they're gorgeous. I've seen them. They're like they're like mannequins.
Yeah,
They move around.
It feels like you're in a music video, except it's real.
Yeah, it's real. I haven't been in a very long time.
What was what's like the most sexually adventurous thing you've done?
Oh God. Jesus. I'm gonna sound really frigid now. Do you know what? When I was younger, but it was just lack of resources, really. I used to ride outside a lot because we'd nowhere to go.
Oh yeah.
You know, riding
That's
in someone's
nice.
bin, kind of, and the light would be coming on and off from the garage, that kind of stuff. Now I wouldn't say. Like, I'm kind of normal.
Yeah,
I'm just a normal ride.
Yeah.
Which is good. I feel like we're so abnormal in our careers.
It's a lot of people like do freaky stuff just for the sake of it, and it's like, oh, come on, if you don't really like that, then fuck, like, don't do it. you know?
No. Like, I mean, my big thing is I have to be really into them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why.
I like that. That's your big thing. That you have to really like the guy.
I have
you're
to like
fucking.
them.
Yeah,
I
it's
believe
crazy.
Yeah,
I can't fuck someone I don't like.
I can't.
Yeah, I don't
my
have
clit
that.
in my ear. If you're not chatting and I can't. Like, so one night stands are kind of a waste of time for me.
You want high stakes.
I don't like- I've never
And
liked
if you
one
like
night
them, there's
stand.
high stakes.
I need there to be like some sort of emotion.
Well, that's the power play too.
Sure.
Like the power, not power play, but more power dynamics of like, well, when you like somebody, you're drawn to them. Okay, there's some electricity there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the best sex I've had is with men that I've been absolutely mad about.
Sure.
Right. Yeah, totally. I
know?
hear you. Have you had sex with men? You've had sex with men in Ireland. Have you had sexual relations with a British man?
I've slept with a couple of British. I've taken a couple
An
of British
American?
men down. Yeah.
An American, have you?
Yeah. I've had a couple of American.
Out of the three, who wins?
Oh,
Four of the world.
Well, I think I've only hooked up with 2 American men.
Okay.
And from a numbers game.
Yeah.
As in, I would say the Americans actually.
Yeah, we're freaks.
Yeah, they were. They were better rides.
Americans
Sorry,
are freaky.
Wow.
And I'm sorry because I have to go home now and go back to riding the Irish and the English lads. So I apologise.
Well, maybe they want to do better and
But
they ask for tips.
The American guys were, they were more attentive. Isn't that
More
funny?
attentive.
More attentive.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Yeah, it was kind of a sexier vibe. And they were both kind of hookups.
Were they New York or where were they from? Oh, okay.
Somewhere in America.
Small. The States are big.
I know.
Yeah.
But I don't,
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I'm like,
They weren't New York.
I like attentive.
Yeah. Like there was a lot of kind of chemistry there for guys that I didn't know that well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas I think the British lads can be a bit like pump and dumpy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Britain.
Yeah. I mean, that's your
They obviously
experience.
just don't fancy me, but that is my experience.
Yeah.
Whereas the American men were more like, it was sexier.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm proud of us.
But I'm saying that because I've hooked up with so few American men and they were both very good experiences.
Yes.
I mean, give me another week in New York. You don't know. I could come back with a completely different result.
Sure.
Of course.
I think you should go on Tinder and say, go download Tinder, lie about your age, say you're a writer, have some dick.
Yeah, you're so right.
Yeah, I would say, because I was like, you're too famous to do that in Ireland, but I feel like here, while you still can, before you blow the fuck up and you're on everything.
Yeah.
Billboard.
Some lad in Ireland, God love him, he messaged me. I was back in Ireland visiting my mum for a couple of days. And I never delete Hinge. It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
You know, just fucking clocking up nose. Clocking up nose. More rejection. I'm like, I don't even log on. And some guy DM'd me on Insta and he's like, Joanne, I hate to bother you, but I'm just letting you know, someone's using your photos on Hinge. And I was like,
yeah, that happens a lot.
No, it was me.
It was
my profile. Because I was living in London at the time.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And he was like, just going to flag it. And I was like, thank you so much for letting me know.
I'm so glad you saw that.
I'll contact customer service.
God damn.
Do you know there was a girl, and it was one of the funniest stories I've heard, because I was giving out somewhere. I'm always giving out about dating and all. And I wouldn't even know what to do with a good date at this stage. I'm just so used to giving out about them. And this woman messaged saying she wasn't getting she wasn't getting as many likes as she'd thought she deserved.
Right.
Yes,
Interesting.
I love that self-esteem.
Yeah.
Yes.
She contacted customer service in Hinge and was like,
what the fuck?
this is broken. I'm hotter than this.
What? I love
And they basically rebooted her from the motherboard and she got loads of likes and interaction.
Well, there was just an Instagram reel going around that basically saying that they save
Algorithm?
that all the hot people are behind a paywall on Hinge. I saw that.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean,
All
or a
the
genius.
standouts. They have a standout section.
Wow.
Yeah, and you have to pay to get access.
But
to
then
the
also, how
standouts.
bad do you feel if you get so many matches and you go, oh no, I'm in the free version. That means I'm in the ugly zone.
Well, I know I'm in the free version because I dated a guy who was he's like, I'm a stand.
He said that?
He was taking the piss, in fairness, because we were slagging each other.
Okay.
He's like, I'm a standout. And I was like, am I a standout? And he's like, no. And he's like, you'll never be a standout. And he said, you won't be a standout because my profile, like, I'm fully clothed in all my photos. I might have a bit of leg on show, but like in Hingeland, that's practically Victorian.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like the female standouts. Like they're quite sexy. It's like there's a lot of bikini photos, and that's just not my vibe.
You don't want to lead with that because then you're just learning hookups.
If I had the body, I'd fucking definitely lead.
No, that's a joke. I'm like, I could put a bikini photo up and then I still wouldn't be in the standout.
You're the same.
Damn.
Like you're in the stand downs. Everyone has stand down. Put your clothes on. Stand down, please.
So funny.
I know.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a minefield, but it's also good crack. It really is.
That's the one like plus side to being a comedian dating is like if anything you're going to get some bits out of it. Like it doesn't feel like a total waste of time.
No, and I've never really like even because it's so we're so lucky that we get to spin it all into material. So it never feels like a waste of time.
Yeah.
And the weirder they are, the more interesting. And I love telling stories. Same as you love telling stories. So like sometimes you're just doing it for the girls. Do you know? Just
and if
doing
a
it for the
guy
chat.
fucks you over, you're like, can't wait to talk about this, dipshit.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I always change their names and stuff. But I had one guy go mad about a story that I did in the pod. It wasn't even about him.
Oh,
isn't that the best when they think it's about them?
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
like,
not.
dude, that's not even about you.
Yeah.
wow. Did he accept that, or was he like, okay, Joanne?
It was true. He never said everyone's blocked. There's about 60 walls between anyone being able to contact each other at this stage. So, but it was passed back to me via A friend, a friend.
Man, when you cut it off, you cut it off with flamethrowers.
Well, there was the two of us in it.
Oh, okay.
You're blocked on this. Well, you're fucking blocked on that. Yeah, it was like that. Yeah.
Petty
now
off.
we need like a hand grenade to get it through to one another. Everything's blocked.
That's
better off. You're better off. Sometimes blocking is the way.
Yeah, and you gotta put guardrails around yourself because you know yourself.
And sometimes it's just because with social media, things don't get a full stop the way they used to because you can see so much. So I think sometimes it's really good for the mind to be like, that's a full stop. I don't mean it to be aggressive.
Yeah.
And I know it can feel really aggressive when
it's healthy for you.
But yeah, you're like, I just need to know that this is done and dusted and that there's no coming back for anyone here.
Yeah.
You know?
That's nice. Have you ever had a stalker?
No, sadly.
No,
me either, girl.
I just saw
Corinne's had like 10.
bad about
I'm like,
it.
oh,
have you?
No, I'm like, every time she gets a new one, I'm like, what the fuck, you guys?
Give us your old ones. We'll take them.
Just, it's fun to be
Give us your
adored.
leftovers.
Well, I think it goes back to like when you were telling the story about how you really liked your boyfriend. I was like, I wish I could had something to add to this conversation.
You don't like your boyfriend?
I like my boyfriend now, but I've never idolized a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I went through all of them, and I was like, I really liked some of them, but not more than they liked me.
Yeah, but you're not an idiot. I was an idiot.
Ooh.
An idiot.
Yeah, I mean,
with
yeah.
no
you get swept away.
self-esteem, and I was like, this man's going to carry me through.
This
everything.
is my ticket.
Yeah,
to
this
happiness.
is my ticket to myself.
Yes, yeah. Oh, that's the worst one.
That was all it was.
Yeah.
Tell me about a stalker.
Oh,
Male or female?
Male. I've had multiple. I mean, but even before I was in the entertainment business, I had a stalker in high school. I had a stalker in middle school.
Some gals just don't have it, I guess.
My stalker in middle school really pissed me off because I really liked the Spice. I really like the Spice Girls still, and he handed me a piece of loose leaf, and he said, "I got the Spice Girls signatures for you." And like, first of all, no, you didn't. I have them memorized. I'm a super fan, and then second of all, like my family is in the collectibles business, so I have real Spice Girls signatures, and I was so angered by him trying to say that he got fake Spice Girls signatures.
That's rude. That's rude.
I like looked at it and I said, these aren't real. I was like, you know how hard it is to get all 5 of them to sign one thing, and they're not signing loose leaf.
I think the funniest part of the whole story is when you threw in my family's in the collectible business.
Yeah, because I have a level of expertise. So my dad had gotten me like a beautifully Victoria Beckham signature, but you have to get these things verified.
Yeah.
This is just not any. I was like, I have an authenticated one. My dad's in the biz. Thank you.
Did he stop stalking you after that?
No, I mean, I don't remember if he stopped stalking me. And like, the thing is, like, the more you don't want it, the more the stalking happens.
Yeah.
I think like that's why
I haven't gotten stalked.
Yeah, because I'm very cold and distant. So perfect prey for
They'll
stalking.
try and crack through you.
Yeah, they the same way women think like, oh, I can change
Fix
this
him.
man who never has been, who's cheated on every girlfriend he has. That's how stalking kind of works with like a cold, distant woman, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So like I can melt her.
Right.
It's all ego,
We're
really.
too
at the end
friendly
of
to
the day.
stalk.
Yeah.
We're just too kind.
You're too kind and loving to
You're
stalk.
too charitable.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
No, but joking aside, I mean, I've heard absolute horror stories, and especially like it's so easy to find out where we are at any
I
time.
know.
Oh, that's why sometimes I
I
just
know.
write, come kill me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Like I'll be here between this time and this time.
Because I've had stalkers, but I also had a very serious death threat where the FBI had to get involved.
Sorry, what?
So yeah, no, this guy was threatening to kill me with a guillotine
though.
because he knows
It's like,
I'm kind of a vintage girl. So that was
guillotine.
Fairs.
Yeah, a guillotine. Yeah, and so I showed up at our home comedy club, and there was 8 squad cars, and I was like, rough night at the office, and everyone's like, they're here for you. You have to talk to the police officer right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah, 'cause he
my!
put the threat online.
Yeah,
So
and
everybody
because
can see
I'm
it.
a public person, they took it seriously. And
Fair play to them.
The fucked up part was he had been, threatening other women in the business, but they just didn't have enough Instagram followers. And I was like, this is
Oh darn! Get some
fucked
special.
on so many
This
levels.
sounds like it's just a guy who bought a guillotine off Etsy and just really wants to use it. Yeah, he's like,
He got WD-40 for the wheels, so you can't hear him coming.
I just see some guy just dragging a guillotine up the road. You're like, we can see you, Derek.
Yeah.
We can see you.
Yep.
He's like the raccoon, like in those videos where they're completely still and they think you can't see them because they're still.
What a psychopath.
Yeah.
And did they catch him?
I'm a polarizing figure. I really rub some people the wrong way. So anytime someone threatens to kill me, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Neither really.
Since I was a child, I've expected to be assassinated. So
that's true.
This is fine.
Did they catch the guy with the guillotine?
They banned him from every. I don't think they found him with the item. But I don't know if he had one. If it was kind of on order. They banned him from every club. I don't know what actually happened. Like, because there was a dedicated like, FBI agent. I know what he looked like, but and I had to go around to comedy clubs with like little handmade posters like "Don't let this guy in." And then I had an armed guard for a week for shows, and an FBI agent who was like on the case, like parked outside his house, like keeping an eye on him.
Wow, that's so cool.
And then tried to fuck me, which I was like classic FBI.
But like I think fair play to the FBI. That's a lot. That's more than Donald Trump got.
No, he got shot.
Tried to assassinate him.
Yeah,
so much protection.
Yeah,
it was. Well, and when I initially filed the report with a female officer. I was living in Harlem at the time, and I specifically asked for a female officer, and she didn't give a shit. And because like she like you're not like submitting your Instagram profile with the report, so she didn't.
By the way,
she just thought I was like a crazy bitch, but it really was the public eye thing. So they don't care about women, but they do care about people in the public eye, because that's then bad press for them,
right?
Right. I think that's what it's all about.
Of course, I'm listening to a podcast at the moment called The Kill List.
Okay,
and it's about this BBC journalist who was sent. On the dark web, there is an assassination site where you can pay to have someone assassinated, but obviously it's the dark web, so you can't. Like it's between 7 and 10 grand. And
that's not a lot.
I'm not.
Yeah, no, you can get someone killed if you want them killed. Yeah,
I'm not selling it. I'm here to do a collab. Bye, girl.
This show is sponsored by Bye Now.
So funny.
But so they were saying that it's actually a scam. So the people who are running the website, they don't kill anyone. They just take the money.
And you can't tell on them because you can't be like,
it's all anonymous.
That's genius.
This is a great business idea.
But
that's
someone
genius.
but the list of people that those people really, someone wants those people dead. So
right.
So this BBC journalist is going around telling these people that someone wants them dead.
Oh,
it's really good.
That's an act of service.
Yeah, it's a really good podcast. I'm only on episode 3.
What do you do with that?
Yeah, so this is the whole thing. Because the first couple of people they rang, they were like, "We don't believe you," and now they have a woman who they've figured out how to deliver the news properly. They've like psychologists and stuff, but this woman, they're like, "You're on a hit list," and she's German. She goes, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Boss
bitch. The journalist is like, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm going through a pretty messy divorce."
Whoa!
See, that's a boss
so she knew who it was right away.
Yeah, she's like, "That makes sense."
Yeah. So most of these are they can't. Do they have the information of who submitted the kill? Because that's what I would want to know.
No,
because there could be a lot of people.
It's the
not narcs.
Yeah, what do you?
I would start listing off names. I'd be like, "Is it this? Is this?"
How long do you have?
I'd be like, "So many people, I believe."
Because there was a woman who they found, the police came, so because they have a lot of the police have like cyber security departments and stuff. But because I did a podcast in the UK for BBC Sounds called "Did Furbies Spy on Us?" Because Furbies.
I loved Furby.
I didn't have when they were too expensive. Okay.
They were banned in the White House and on airplanes because the American government at the time thought that Furbies were listening to them because they were basically the first
Alexa. They
Alexa.
did respond to you.
Yeah, they were the first Alexa, and they didn't understand the programming and the technology.
Wow.
So they were freaked about them, so they weren't allowed in the White House and stuff. Anyway, so I did a documentary, but the documentary is about surveillance and stuff, and so this guy came around and he downloaded the dark web onto my laptop. He works in cybersecurity. I know. I was like, I don't know how to get into it. It's all cryptic.
And I guess you're not going to get flagged because you have a pro helping you, right?
You can't. They will flag. He was like, they will flag. You will be flagged that you have it, but once you're in there, they can't follow anything. That's the whole point of the dark web. It is
secure.
untraceable.
Wow. So all they know is you have entered the dark web and they don't know why. But no one enters it for good. like literally though, you're the only the only type of situation of like for research.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, yeah, it's for research.
Yeah. And his wife's dead. Yeah. For research. But so he was talking about this guy was saying, he's like, the police are quite far behind. Like if someone's really good at cybersecurity, they go to private companies or they go, you know, so the police are kind of always on the back foot. But anyway, so one woman that they found originally on this kill list was killed. Like they found out, they told her, she knew that someone was trying to assassinate her. They didn't know who, that it was all paid in cryptos. They can't trace anything. And they found her, she was killed. And it was, guess who it was? Her husband.
Oh, yeah.
It's
not much of a mystery.
Always the husband.
Yeah,
even when it's not the husband, it's somehow the husband.
It's domestic violence. Yeah. That's a true.
Just fucking divorce them.
I know.
This German woman.
Sometimes they'll kill you for that.
She was unflappable. She's like, yeah, that makes sense. I know who that is. Yeah, that's Gary. That'll be Gary. That's all Gary. Trying to kill me again.
Oh God.
They were like, why? And she's like, there's a lot of money at stake. He doesn't want to pay it to me.
Wait, so that's the one who ended up dead?
No.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
She's the one on this episode I'm listening to at the moment.
Okay.
She feels like she's gonna survive.
Wait, did you have somebody download the dark web on your computer though? Personally, what does it look like
for the Furbies podcast? It looks like a normal search engine, but you can't just type in www. It doesn't come up. It's all very cryptic. And when I say I can't even work my Fitbit, it's completely wasted on me.
Okay. So it's all like code words for shit.
Exactly. It's all scrambled and weird and strange.
Weird.
Yeah. So there's no point in me having it. I just want it.
Yeah. I'd just be curious.
Yeah.
Like, what is on there?
But that's how you get that's how you buy like organs, get people killed.
Yeah.
You see, you can like see videos of like in like Mexican forest deaths. That's like, I remember when I was working at the spa, some people knew how to access it. And there was like, you can see videos of people being murdered online.
Yeah. And that's the kind of stuff
you don't
where
need to see it.
You don't need to see it.
No.
That's the kind of stuff you're like, oh, hold on, I'll watch it through one eye, and then you regret it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I'm too sensitive.
Yeah, no, I saw some things when I had too much free time at work that I can't unsee, and I wish I could. That's pretty bad.
I had a friend who worked for one of the big search engines, and his whole job was trying to take like pornography down or child porn, like really bad stuff.
Fuck.
And he lasted his 6 months, and he's like, I'm not well.
Yeah.
His mental health,
thank you for your service, but also you can't be in that job for too. Like that's got to be the most heartbreaking, bleakest thing you can ever do. Yeah,
we're not equipped to see that stuff.
No. But I also I would love to talk to a guy who's like super into like the cybersecurity thing, or like not even necessarily cybersecurity, because like I've always wondered, like in hotel rooms or where I'm staying, like if there's a hidden camera, how would I know?
Well, I went, as part of that Furbies podcast, went to a spy shop, right? So, and it was just had spy shop written out the front.
Yeah, there's some here.
Yeah, we've seen those. Yeah.
I was expecting something a little more covert.
Yeah, nope.
Spy shop. And we went in.
Best hiding place is out in the open, baby.
Yeah, totally. And it was all this surveillance equipment, and it was like that, like, so a car key, and it's like there's a recording device in it, or a plug that like recording devices in it.
Yeah, you can put a camera and a plug. I know.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
an air freshener.
Is there a
with
device that like detects a camera?
Yeah,
there is.
You can go in and hold on, I don't know.
So say I'm staying in a hotel room and I don't know if I'm like, is there a camera in here? Why would I think that? I don't know. But
Krystyna, our security is that we're in our late 30s. We don't need to check anymore.
Yeah.
No, people still want to see us naked.
Do you know what I feel?
I walk in and I go, another night of being 39. I'm resting easy tonight.
So many predators.
You just hear someone remove the camera.
The camera powers down.
Like, what happened? What? Old machinery taken out.
Bob, she's over 28. Never mind.
Let's not waste the battery.
That's life insurance for a gal in her 30s and 40s.
My take on it is, if I didn't know, like, I know that's a terrible thing, but as part of that Furbies podcast, again, we interviewed this woman who she bought a nanny cam and someone hacked it. And they've been watching her breastfeed her kids. They've been watching her have sex with her husband.
Oh my God.
The camera was kind of moving around and all, yeah. And then it turned out that brand of camera had been hacked loads of times and it was taken off the market.
Wow.
Any weapon you have, it can be used against you.
I know.
Annoying.
Horror movie 101, baby.
Yeah, I know.
So annoying.
Damn.
I know. But like you say, I'm kind of like, whatever.
You know?
Once it's not, once
you
I
don't
don't
watch
see
me.
it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I know,
Thank you.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Just put a Paris filter on it, you know what I mean?
So funny.
You know, just as long as I look good.
Oh, that's great. Well, this has been amazing. Is there anything
so
else
nice.
you want to add? Any subjects you want to, or things you want to
so.
say? What would you like to promote? Where
Yeah,
can we get
promote.
more of you?
Oh, it's so annoying. I've just finished my American dates.
Okay.
But I'll be back.
Okay,
I
good.
still have Nashville and Texas.
We have
and
a
stuff to
very
do.
international audience too. So if you're going to other countries,
So
you can-
I'm writing a new show at the moment. I'll be back on tour next spring.
Nice. Okay.
JOANNEMcNALLY.com is the website, and Joanne McNally is my Insta handle. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of where I live. I just
All
live on
right.
Insta.
Yeah, me
Perfect.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. Millennials, baby.
I know.
We love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for
stopping
having
by.
me. It was loads of
very fun. This has been Guys We Fuck, the anti-slut shaming podcast. We'll talk to you next Friday.